touching on the relationship between Nina and George, and I think, obviously one of the wonderful things that this show is able to do is sort of take, regular situations and just blow them up to extreme. And so Nina and George have this, series of conversations, the relationship conversations that we've all had, except for that he's turned her into a werewolf. You know what I mean? It's not like he's stayed out, too often or, whatever, had a few too many. And so, when you're playing that, how do you, how are you thinking of that? Are you, bringing to it, every horrible relationship conversation you've ever had and how, what they mean to each other kind of thing?
Yeah, I suppose, as an actor, you naturally do, if you have something to tap into that will help the scene, then you do that. But the beauty with, Toby's writing is everything's on the page. It's so beautifully written. It makes your job as an actor so much easier. You just, you learn your lines and you get on set and, it's a joy to be able to work with Russell Tovey, even though he's very abusive to me sometimes on set. But for the most part, he's lovely. And you get on set, you learn your lines, you do your thing, and as I said, it's all on the page, and it's a joy to do. But yeah, it brings back memories of bad times and relationships and stuff. But that's your job as an actor, really.
We actually have a clip of it's Nina and George clip. The second clip. Do we want to show that? Oh my God, we're up on this.
Oh yeah.
Like the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Do I have that power? Clip? Nope. I can't see anything. So people are shaking their heads.
We can act it out if you want.
Okay, good.
Surely that's an Emmy. What's your name?
2 Emmys.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
You deserve
3,
one.
exactly.
I think we've all had conversations like that one, right? So when you began this as sort of as a friend drama, and then you decided that this would be a great way to sort of solve some of your problems, and now as you're writing the second season, what are you, the characters seem to come, the first season it was more about them, their humanity that was tinged with these various curses. And in the second season, they are doing very real battle with the monsters within them. And so what are you thinking? What is the journey here that you're trying to take them on?
I guess the journey evolves and changes. There was never a conscious decision to make the second series darker. It just felt like a very natural evolution of the show. I think that the characters have to progress and they have to move on. And in a way, we couldn't have spent a second series with the characters in a state of denial about what they are. They have to embrace it and they have to move forward. But by doing that, that takes them into other areas. That takes them into other stories. The ambition of the show has always been, bizarrely, given the preposterous nature of the format, but the ambition has always been to do as realistic a show as possible. And in a way, the kind of task that we set ourselves is that if these creatures really existed, what would their lives be like? And so when we sit down in the storyline, we have to talk about it in very logical terms. Look at the sort of infrastructure of the vampire world. We had to approach that very logically, and we had to think about, they would specifically have put people in different stratas of society. They would have people placed in the police force, just as a kind of insurance for, because their sort of prime objective is to remain secret. And so, as I say, I think that when we sat down to storyline the second series, it just felt like a very natural evolution that these stories would get darker. If you're going to tell stories about vampires and werewolves and ghosts, that is going to take you into very dark territory. Those characters are then going to be put at risk and find themselves in situations of jeopardy. And as I say, that it purely came out of an ambition to do everything as realistic as possible.
And when we talk about vampires and werewolves, and this has become a big issue in popular culture over here, and often they're used as symbols in the press. We like to talk about them as symbols, for everything from addiction to gay marriage to just that you can deal with a lot of otherness a lot of issues of otherness by making people literally other. And is that something that you're thinking? And then I would like to ask the cast if that's something that you think about when you're coming to your roles, in terms of, is it just what it must be like for people who see themselves as other, as apart from society?
I think that everyone, I think part of the human condition is occasional feelings of isolation and disenfranchisement. I think that there's something about the characters that everyone can relate to. I think that in a way the fact that they're supernatural creatures is almost kind of by the by. I think that as human beings we all feel the same sense of loneliness and seclusion that I think they feel. And so that means that the storylining always becomes very easy. We never set out to tell supernatural stories. The ambition and we try and always tell very human stories that just have a supernatural slant.
Yeah, the show isn't like a celebration of the supernatural side, is it? It's about these guys trying to be human. And I think that's why so many people connect to it, because we're all human, aren't we, really?
Most of us.
Yes.
I mean, you can't sort of, and maybe I'm speaking for all of us when I say this, you can't play the supernatural. I don't know how you do that. It's almost impossible. Certainly to get your head around it, the psyche around it. I mean, Mitchell being an addict is enough to know. I mean, the fact that it's blood, it could be anything, and so it doesn't really change that. You have to play what you know and the reality of the situation, and that's enough to kind of propel it into its own, to give it its understanding and its own meaning. So I don't. It's never something that entered my head. How am I going to play a vampire? What does that mean? Do I have to run really fast? I don't know what to do.
The beauty of the show, I think, is, as we were saying, like you were all kind of saying, is that the cross that each one of the characters has to bear, the fact that one's a vampire, one's a ghost, there's now 2 werewolves, is incidental, really. It's secondary. It's about how they all kind of deal with life day to day, and just trying to get by, really, and as far under the radar as possible. They don't want to stick their head above the parapet. They just want a nice, normal, humdrum, peaceful existence, which is what they don't get. But it's all incidental.
I think as well as the feelings. Well, I know for Annie, I always go to the feelings. So, the idea that nobody can see her, I just try and, how would that feel? I mean, I know I've gone into a room before and just felt a bit invisible or a bit out of place, or, there's been times in my life where I feel like I'm not really taking part, I'm just watching, and everyone else seems to be getting on with things really, really well, and everyone else feels really, really sorted, and so all those things, that the implications of being invisible, the implications of being stuck or not knowing what's next or how to be, or finding your self-worth in other people, being in denial about the men you're with, hell yeah. You mean, like, I know what Annie is going through, and and being stuck in the same outfit for ages.
I get to put on bangs and have things budge.
I get to tongue my hair every morning. Do you know what? To be honest, it's actually quite nice, because I put on that costume and I'm halfway there. I have to do very much. Everyone's they just buy it. No, it has become such a part of her now, and it is all part of the frustration of being Annie. As much as she's got a very positive attitude and a positive outlook on life, sometimes blindly positive, she's stuck. And it's
but
sad.
This season seems to be about her getting, or at least towards the end, that she is finding her strength. And it's I realized at the end, she actually, out of all of them, you can't be hurt by anyone. George and Mitchell can actually, but I mean, you can physically, do things that they can't do because they can't kill you because you're already dead.
Yeah.
But, and it's when is she going to realize that
there's a huge power in that. Absolutely, and that's another lovely thing about Annie. She's got... I feel like we're in some kind of theatre. It's behind you. What are you doing?
Nothing. What's going on with it?
Such
What are you going on
an
about?
attention seeker, Turner. Anyway, Annie, I didn't even know what I was saying, and it was so important. I came all the way from London to say it. Yeah, no, the clothes are great. Hope you enjoy season 2. I completely lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was talking about.
I lost it as well.
Yeah. Do you have guys who do transform? Do you have fun? Do you like doing it with the fangs and the blood and the, you know?
Well, all he has to do is put fangs in his teeth. Me and Sinead are like up at 3 in the morning. We sat there 4 hours in makeup,
4.5
contact lenses,
hours.
teeth, hair laid on, ears, which is the last thing I need, made bigger. You know, we get the full works. You tongue your hair, as you say, and you wear the same outfit every day, and you put a couple of teeth in. So for us, yes, we enjoy it sometimes, but when you're in the zone, and we can have a good scream through the anger, but it's kind of like a hard job, but then also you're playing a werewolf, so that's what you got to play. And yeah, but I mean, you love putting the teeth in, didn't you?
I love putting the teeth in. The blood tastes all right. It's minty. So it makes it a real pleasure.
Real pleasure. So you don't brush your teeth, do you? When you come to work, if you've got a blood day, you don't brush your teeth.
Don't bother me. No.
No point.
Mouthwash with blood.
Yeah, works every time.
And when your eyes go black, is that CG?
It's CGI. Yeah, but doesn't have to worry about it.
Only a bit of CGI in the show.
Yeah, no CGI we have.
That's CGI. Yeah.
He doesn't do eye contact, but yeah, I offered that up ages ago and they didn't bother with
They
it.
didn't want that. They just thought they'd save that budget for us.
Oh yeah.
Really.
The contact budget.
Okay, well, I obviously can ask questions all night long, but I think it's time to throw it open to the audience.
Yay, making good.
Guys, do we have microphones for people? What are we doing? Are we shouting?
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Beautiful people.
Hi.
Raza.
I was wondering for the actors for the American remake, if you could change anything about your character, what would be and why for the American audience? Could be height, whatever.
His name, I wouldn't call him Aidan. It's a rubbish name.
What would we change?
I wouldn't give him so much money.
Yeah, they get a lot of money.
Not that we're complaining.
No,
we do it for the work. We do it because we love the scripts. And,
Yeah, we're not money hungry.
yeah, we're not money hungry. What would we change? I don't know. I think their George should be less attractive than me. I think that would help the show a lot. Yeah, I think he should be naked throughout. Thanks, guys. That's for him. That's not for me. Yeah, that's my input. Enjoy.
I think Annie should have straight hair and not wear grey. Just so that's my thing. Because if she pulls off curly hair and grey better than I do, it's just, yeah, no.
That's all you've got.
That's all I have, goddammit. Yeah, so
Sinners.
I don't know. Maybe Nina would have. I mean, I like the scrubs. But maybe a cuter nurse's outfit. You know, like a little old-fashioned white one with a little hat. Yeah. I'd go with
it's a
that.
different show.
Yeah, it's a whole different show. That's a late night version.
And you?
I just said it.
Oh, you
Name,
said it.
rubbish name.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Yeah, thank you very much.